Hello guys, I hope you all are doing good. I'm Vaishali Khan and today we are going to start a new subject, that is the digital circuit. First of all, I'm going to tell you why you should read this subject, what is the importance of this subject in your studies. After that, we are going to discuss which all units we are going to cover. Then we will see the introduction to the digital circuit. So this video becomes really important and I hope you all will be watching this video with your utmost attention. So first of all, why this subject is really important for you. If you are preparing for VLSI industry, if you are preparing for your placements, this subject becomes the core and a lot of questions can be directly asked from this subjects. Right, so you have to understand the basics of this subject in a great depth. Even if you are preparing for the competitive exams, you are preparing for GATE, NET, ESE or any other government exams, so for that also this subject becomes really important. And if you feel you know this subject, so you don't want to lose marks in this subject, right? So you don't want to lose marks or you don't want to have negative marking in this subject, because this is your strength. It should give you full marks, not negative marks, and for that you should be well prepared in this subject, right? So this was all about the importance of this subject. Now coming about which all units I am going to cover in this subject. First of all, I am going to start with the number system. We are going to see all four types of number system that we have, right? The decimal, binary, octal and hexadecimal. We will be seeing the interconversion and every other things related to the number system. Then we are going to talk about the codes, various codes that we have, right? All of the types of code we are going to cover, and after that we will be talking about the Boolean algebra, how we can solve the Boolean algebra with the help of K-map and with the help of the algebra methods only, how we can solve it. After that we will be talking about the sequential logic design and the combinational logic design. First of all, we will be talking about the combinational logic circuits, where we will be talking about adder, subtractor, code converter, multiplexer, demultiplexer, encoder, decoder. So all of these things and some more things also we will be covering in this playlist. And after that, the sequential circuit designing, we will be talking about the flip-flops, the shift registers and the counters, in which the counters becomes a really important segment and you have to cover it in the great depth, right? So after that we will be moving towards the logic families, and after that the analog to digital converters and microprocessors. I have already made some videos on the microprocessors, you can already go and watch them also. So one unit is already complete, which is microprocessors. All other units we are going to cover in this playlist itself. So now we are starting with the digital circuit. What is a digital circuit? Digital circuit is any circuit which is operating or storing or communicating between its block with the help of the digital numbers. So what is a digital number? Which is having only 0 and 1. So the digital circuit is going to communicate, it is going to store or it is going to process the signal which is having only two values, zeros and ones. Right, so we should understand the difference between the analog signal and the digital signal. The digital signal, as I already told you, it is having only two values, zeros and one. But if I have an analog system, it is going to take any continuous value, right? So if I have any value, the analog system can take it and process it, right? And even it can communicate it. So this is the basic difference between the digital and the analog system. Now we have the third type of quantity as well, which is called the discrete quantity, right? If you have any number which is discrete, like if I talk about 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you have your digital watch, so the time it is showing is in discrete values. It is showing you 39 seconds, after that it is going to the 40 second, right? In between 39 and 40 it is not going to show you any value. And on the other hand, if you come to the analog system, in the analog system if you see your needle of the speedometer of your vehicle, so it is changing in the analog nature, right? Or if you have analog watch, it is changing its needle in the analog manner, in the continuous manner. It can have any value in between the 0 and 1. It can have 0.1111 as well. right? So this is how the analog signal, discrete signal and the digital signal are different. So as of now you should understand the difference between the analog signal. Now the analog signal is the continuous signal. Right? So some example of the analog system are the radio frequency transmitter receiver, right? We have the radio frequency transmitters, we have radio frequency receivers, all of them are analog system. Then we have the battery, then we have the motors, then we have the controllers. So if I talk about the speed controller is analog in nature. If I talk about the electric motor, it is again analog in nature. If I talk about the battery, the electrical battery that you use in your network, so if you have RLC network, you are using the battery, it can have any value, 2.22, 1.11, any value, right? So it is analog in nature. Now coming to the discrete signal. So discrete signal is having the values which are discrete, so like 0, 1, 2 and all, it is not having any value in between 0 and 1, right? So we are having the discrete values, so no continuous values over here, right? And now coming to the last part, which is my digital signal. So you can see the example of the discrete system as your watch, right? When you have the watch which is having the values from 1 to 12, right? So in that scenario it can be the discrete values, right? Now it is actually the digital watch is also operating on the digital technology. So now the digital signals are having the values 0 and 1 only, right? So digital signals are having the digital systems. So the digital systems are, can you give me some examples of digital system? We have the switching systems. Then we have the memory systems as well. So in the memory we can call it flip-flops. So these are the digital systems. So these are the two types of digital systems that we have. Now we are operating in 0 and 1 only. So if I talk about the digital signal only, we have two types of systems: positive logic system and then we have the negative logic system. So what is a positive logic system? In the positive logic system, we have two values, right? In the digital signal, we have only two values. So 0 is represented by 0, whereas 1 is represented by 5 volt, right? So here in the negative logic system, 0 on the other hand is represented by 5 volt and 1 is represented by 0 volt. So this is how positive and the negative logic system are different. Now I will be giving you an example. If I have 0, 1, 0, 1, right? How I can represent it in the positive logic system and the negative logic system. In the positive logic system, 0 is represented by 0 value. 1 on the other hand is represented by 1 value. So this is how I am going to represent this signal. Now in the negative logic system, 0 is represented by 1 value, 1 is represented by 0 value. So this is how I am going to represent it. This is the 0 volt, this is the 5 volt. This is again the 0 volt, this is the 5 volt. So this is the ideal values of the negative and the positive logic system. And practically what happens, if I have the any voltage level in between 0 to 0.8 volt, I will consider it as the 0 volt, right? So 0 to 0.8 volt can be considered as 0 volt because this is the precision that we are having, right? So now this is a practical situation. And in the one also, if I have 2 to 5 volt, I will be considering it as 1 volt, right? So practically I don't have to go to the zeros and at max 5 only. So if I have reached to 0.3 also, I will be considering it as 0. If I have reached to 4.5, I will be considering it to equal to 1. So I hope you understood how we have the digital system, how we have the two types of the digital logic system, which is the positive logic system and the negative logic system, right? So this is the basics. Now how a signal is processed. As I said, the digital system will be taking the digital input. So we are giving the digital input. We are going to process it with the help of the digital system. Digital system is going to process only the digital input, and at the output it is going to give me the digital output only, right? So digital input will be having the 0 1 values only 0 1 values are fed to the digital system, and we are going to get the output in 0 1 form only. So now when I am talking to you, I am also generating a signal which is the vibrations in the air. It's a noise signal that I am generating. So audio signal or the vibrations in the air are called the physical signal. So physical signal is first converted into the electrical signal with the help of the transducer. I am using a mic, and with the help of mic I am converting the physical signal into the electrical signal. Now this electrical signal is analog in nature because I am not speaking in 0 1 forms. So this is analog. Right, now this analog signal is first converted into the digital signal with the help of some converters. Now we all know the digital signal is fed to the digital system for the processing. So digital signal is fed to the processing block, which is the digital system. So after processing, we are going to get the digital output. So again we are going to get the digital signal. So can you hear my voice if I am sending you only zeros and 1 in the electrical form? No, you cannot. So you are getting the digital signal. So now you cannot understand the digital signal. So it is going to be converted first in the electrical analog signal. After converting it into the analog signal, which is electrical, now we will be converting it into the physical signal again. So this is how I have made my computations with the help of the digital system, right? So I hope you understood how you can process any signal which is there in the nature with the help of the digital circuits. Right, now coming to the advantages and the disadvantages of the digital circuit. Now first we are going to talk about the various advantages. Because we are dealing with zeros and ones only in the digital signal, so now it is easier to design. Because we are dealing with zeros and ones only, and we are considering from 0 to 0.8 volt as 0. So if the noise is incorporated in between this value, it is already removed, right? If the noise is incorporated in between this value, it is already removed. So it is having better noise sensitivity, better, or I can say tolerance to noise. Right, so it is having the better tolerance to noise, it is having the better accuracy and precision as well. So it is having better accuracy and precision. We can make the flip-flops, and with the help of flip-flops I can store the information. So storage capability would be there with the digital circuits, right? So I hope you understood all of these things. So now it is having the better tolerance as well, and the last thing, it can be fabricated using the IC technology. So we all know IC technology is going to give me the ICs which are very small in size, compact, low cost. So with the help of all of these advantages, there comes the advantages which are coming with the IC technology as well. Now comes the limitation. Because we have so many advantages of using the digital circuits, there are some limitations as well. What are the limitations? The limitations are that it cannot be used directly. We should have a unit which is going to convert the analog signal into the digital signal. Practically all of the signals which are occurring in the nature are analog signals, so you will be requiring some extra blocks to convert this practical signal which is there in the nature into the digital form, and then you can process it, right? So while you are doing it, you will be losing some important segment of the signal, right? So I hope you understood each and everything that I have discussed. And last, coming to the application, it has varied application. It can be used in the computers, it can be used in the communication system, in the space exploration, medical devices, in your digital watches, in your automated system, automated transportation system, automated machinery, and it has varied numerous other applications, like it can be used in the microprocessors as well. So I hope you understood each and everything that I have discussed in this video. If you have any doubt regarding any of the topic that I have discussed, now you can put the doubt in the comment and I will be trying to resolve your doubt as soon as possible. I hope you like this session. If you like it, please push the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and also give me your feedback. Thank you so much.